Hello, I'm Sergio Martinez with Cartmart, your exclusive distributor for Yamaha, Taylor-Dunn, and Club Car golf and utility carts. We're here today to review safety and proper operation of the Club Car Carryall 6 LSV utility cart, and also the trailer that goes along with it. This cart is designated as an LSV. LSV stands for low speed vehicle. A low-speed vehicle can be licensed to operate on public roadways with posted speed limits of 35 miles or less. It's important to note that low-speed vehicles have a top speed of 25 miles an hour. So if you are operating on streets between 25 and 35, you want to exercise extra caution as your top speed is 25 miles an hour. This particular vehicle is equipped with a rollover protection certified cab, hard doors on it. The doors are removable on the vehicle. Before you operate the vehicle, it's a good idea to take a quick walk around the vehicle and look for things such as low air on the tires. You want to look at the headlights, the tail lights, make sure that they are not broken or damaged in any way. Also take a look at the door locks on the door, verifying that they haven't been tampered with since the last use, which would indicate somebody may have tampered with a vehicle on the inside. Your bed load on the flatbed, your maximum load capacity is 850 pounds on the flatbed vehicle here. The vehicle is equipped with four-wheel brakes, but of course you want to be safe when you're out on the street. The more load that you have, especially if you're towing the trailer, you want to be cognizant, you want to give yourself extra stopping distance, especially if you're driving behind another vehicle. We're going to move to the inside of the cab now. You'll notice that just like an automobile, you do have your key on and off switch. This is an electric vehicle, so the on switch is merely going to turn on the controller. The vehicle will not start until you actually depress the accelerator pedal. You do have a hand-operated parking brake in between the seats. Pull up all the way to engage it, push down on the button, and push all the way down to release the parking brake. You'll want to have your foot on the service brake to make sure, especially if you're not on level ground, to make sure the cart isn't going to roll away. You have your accelerator pedal, which is marked with go, and you have your brake pedal that's indicated with the stop sign on the vehicle. You do have turn signals on the vehicle. It will indicate left and right on the vehicle. It's important to note that it's not like your automobile where they're automatic canceling when you finish your turn. When you do finish your turn, you need to manually move the turn signals back to the neutral position. You do have hazard lights on the vehicle. Just under the turn signals, you pull the lever, and that's going to activate your hazard lights. To disengage the hazard lights, move the turn signal either up or down, and that'll disengage your hazard signals. At the very tip of the turn signal arm, you do have your horn, which is activated just by pushing the button at the end. On the dash, you have your forward and reverse. Forward is to the top, indicated by the F. Neutral is in the middle, and reverse, indicated by the R, is to the bottom. As you can hear, when you do go into reverse, you do have the reverse warning beeper so that you know you are in reverse. To the left of the key switch, you have your light switch. Push that on, that's going to activate your head and tail lights and running lights on the vehicle. On top of the steering column, you do have your speedometer. Again, keep in mind that the top speed of the vehicle is 25 miles an hour. Just behind the speedometer, you're going to have your heater, which you just flip the toggle switch on. It is marked on or off. Keep in mind, the more that you use the heater, the more battery that you're going to use, so it will cut down a little bit on your run time if you use the heater defogger. You do have an optional fan up here on the top left as well, and you also have a windshield wiper. This is the switch here, right in the middle, to activate the windshield wiper. The 5-panel rear view mirror can be adjusted by loosening the screws on the ends, and you can adjust it to your height preference. Once you got it to the right level that you like, tighten the screws, that'll keep it in place. You also have left and right side mirrors, which you can adjust manually as well. Now we're going to move on to actually hooking on the trailer onto the vehicle. The maximum tow capacity of the vehicle with the trailer is 1,500 pounds on the trailer. So you want to pull the trailer up. You want to be on level ground when you're hooking it up. Place the tongue over the ball. Press down firmly and push down on the latch. Ideally, if a nut and bolt should be added here so that that'll prevent this from popping up as well. You have 2 safety chains here. You'll need to add the hooks back onto there in order to hook them onto the holes here. That way you have safety chain on either side. Your light connector is wrapped around here. That's going to connect to this connector right here. Okay. So there your trailer is hooked up. On the rear, you have 2 pins, 2 hooks to disengage the ramp. Make sure you're hanging onto the ramp. Don't let it just slam down on the ground. You have a handle on either side depending on which side you're working with. Maybe you can let that down and roll on anything that you need. You do have a couple of eyelets here, and of course the frame of the vehicle, so if there's something that's loose or on wheels, you'll want to make sure you lock the casters if it has locking casters. Or use ropes or bungee cords, depending on what you're transporting on the vehicle, to make sure it's not going to shift around on you, especially if you're going down hills. You'll want to use extra caution when you're towing on the vehicle. Keep in mind you're going to want to not take the turns on the curbs as tight, because you want to make sure you have clearance for the trailer. Also, when you're reversing, you want to make sure you're keeping a good eye to the rear to make sure you're not going to run into anybody. Take it real slow, especially if you've never towed a trailer before. Going backwards is a little different than going forward, so it takes a little bit getting used to. You should practice it in an open area, going forward and reverse with the trailer to make sure you're comfortable with it before you actually take it on the open road. Go back on to lock the ramp. This time, is there any questions on either the cart or the trailer? Yes, sir.
Actually, I want to know it's 800 pounds for the bed, but then 1,500. Can you have a combined total, or is that maxed out?
That can be combined. So that's the physical load on the trailer.
So we cannot carry heavy stuff if we don't have a safety pin, right?
Yeah, ideally this...
Is that, am I understanding that California law requires any trailer that they have to have a safety pin in order to be on the street?
You need to have a bolt and a nut that goes through this hole here to keep this from popping up. And then secondly, there's supposed to be hooks on the end of this chain, one on each one, and to hook on right here through these holes here.
Okay.
So,
Otherwise, we cannot use it.
Yeah,
right?
don't use this trailer until those items have been put back onto the trailer. Any other questions?
Can you give us a demonstration, kind of like backing up?
Sure. Now you do have 3-point seat belts on the vehicle as well, so you want to make sure you buckle up there just like in your automobile. Okay, so to unhook the trailer, disconnect the light connector, disconnect the safety chains. Those are going to be hooked up. And then you want to pop up this lever here. Now be careful with this because the trailer is heavier on the back side, so it will pop up. So make sure your hand doesn't get caught when you pull it up. And then you'll want to level, back it up a little bit, and then set the trailer down. With the weight being to the back, this footstool really isn't necessary unless you were on a down slope and you were going to park it on a down slope. If you are on a slope, I would recommend putting blocks on the wheels, again, for additional safety. Always hook up the trailer on a level ground. Any other questions?
Any questions?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.